Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. Today, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of our shipping singles room. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. I wanted to make it really nice and clean and organized, and the reality is that's just never going to happen. So we're going to do the video today. Everything might be a little bit of a mess, but that's part of the process anyway. It's part of the process of owning a card store. It's constantly cleaning up after things. At least we have posters up. The audio, I wanted, to put in audio things to be able to record videos down here, but it's just not going to happen for a while. So let's go give you a tour of how we ship everything singles wise. This isn't sealed product. Sealed product is separate. We now have a separate account for sealed product. This is just how we are shipping and the space that we are using to ship singles orders. To give you some of the perspective, we do about 200 orders a day out of here. We could do more if I had more employees. Right now, we're kind of in this timeline where we're trying to get more employees in the future, get to the summer where some of our college employees can work a little bit more, and then we'll up the number of orders. But those orders for us are all cards over 50 cents. We don't list cards under 50 cents, so it's kind of high value, not high value, but higher quality orders. We don't do any TCGplayer direct. I'm not a big fan of the direct program. The way that they do conditioning and all that stuff, it's just too much work. I want to, I guess work is the wrong way. This is more work probably technically. I want to be in control is the real issue. I want to know what is happening. I want the responsibility of shipping the correct card to the right person. And on top of that, if the direct program ever goes out, I want to have the setup to be able to continue to sell singles and buy collections and that kind of thing. One of my biggest fears about the direct program is what happens when TCGplayer does away with it, or if they do away with it. And then what do you do as a business if you don't have the infrastructure behind you to ship out your cards and do that? So I don't want to scale beyond what we are currently capable of. So this is what we do for singles. Again, 200 orders a day. We're buying, I don't know, probably 2,000 to 3,000 cards a week, maybe more than that. I don't know. We've got 20,000 cards listed on our TCGplayer. That's all cards like above $1 or so. So that's kind of where our inventory looks like. It can be bigger. There's people who do this bigger. This is how we do it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. So the first thing I want to just say is this is a dedicated space to selling singles, which I think is really important if you're going to do this kind of as a way to do it. We don't share this space with anything else. All the other places we've ever run our business, we have shared this space with something else. And this is the first time now that we can do this all exclusively in this area, which allows us to set it up perfectly how we want it to be set up, even though we still have a Home Depot bucket for a trash can. Like I said, we're still working on things. So this is where we have all of our Magic the Gathering cards. This whole wall is Magic the Gathering cards. To put it in perspective of what we do, that's all Magic the Gathering cards. And over here is, Pokemon and then some other games. You got your Sorcery, your Star Wars, your Yu-Gi-Oh! The vast majority of what we do is Magic the Gathering. Now, we sort our stuff, and this is wrong. Do not do this. Do not do this. We sort all of our Magic cards alphabetically and by rarity. Now, if we could redo the whole thing, I think we would probably organize it by set and then alphabetical. We are just too deep into it. At this point, we're just too deep in. This is the way we're doing it. This is what works right now. At some point in the future, as we scale up, we will have to resort all this into set. I think that's the best way to do it. I don't know. But we have all of our cards sorted alphabetically. So this is rares, and this is A with A through L. This is non-foil rares. So A, C, D, F. You can see this is all the J rares non-foil. S is separated into a bunch of different categories. S, this is A through N. This is how we just happen to sort. These are then foil rares. You've got your mythics. You've got your foil mythics that are alphabetical, your uncommons, your uncommon foils, your commons, your promos. This is then unlimited. We bought a huge unlimited collection, so we already started setting this up to be, set, organized. And then this is all pre-rarity. So it's hard for our employees to remember what sets have like a rarity symbol. So anything that doesn't have a rarity symbol, we put into a pre-rarity section, and that's how we organize our cards. I know that the comment section is going to hate that, and that this is the biggest point of contention in our business and the way that we organize things. That's just what we have to do right now. All of our cards are also sleeved, so we can't even use like a card sorter or something like that to help organize and solve that problem. So for now, this is what we're doing. It does lose some efficiencies. We try to make up those efficiencies on the back end on different things. One of those efficiencies that we've started to do is to pull a TCGplayer pull sheet. Those pull sheets then can be organized and sorted on a Excel or that kind of thing. So we use that pull sheet and then we organize it by foil rares, whatever, and then they can pull all the A's at the same time, all the B's at the same time, all the C's at the same time, all the way down the line. And then they print out the orders and then can pack the orders without going through the entire setup. It's just a way that has saved us a ton of time, but it's still not as good, I don't think, as sorting by set. But kind of like I said, we're already committed. All right, as we come around here, this is the bread and butter of our entire process. We use this Canon image class, whatever, their printer. This is a black and white only printer. You save a lot of money on that. The ink cartridges are pretty cheap. We haven't had to order a new one since December. We print out the regular TCGplayer order sheets. These order sheets then, like I said, get packed. We put cards under 30 bucks or something like that. We put cards in these. These are cardboard mailers that they're used in like the arcade business. And then we use these. We just recently changed to these Seal Fresh poly seal bags that are 3x5. And so then this goes in the order like that with just one little piece of tape. We never put any tape on cards or anywhere close to cards. And then that goes into the envelope. You can see it's a windowed envelope that then gets shipped. And then we use these Simply stamps to put the return address on it. That didn't come out very well. And then throw a stamp on it. It's just old fashioned. That's the plain white envelope. And like I said, I know that direct would solve and make things a lot faster or easier, but with all the fees and again, the inconsistency of knowing who's in control of my business, I don't want TCGplayer having more control than they already do over my business. And so we do all this, and that's kind of how we do it. For Pokemon, this is kind of how we sort things by alphabetical and then card number. That makes it quicker to pull the card that you want. And then the other big thing that we've gotten is these awesome lights that we got off of an eBay seller. They are phenomenal. They're like 50 bucks, I think, for this full 4-foot light thing. And it really just helps light up the room. You can see we have one here, we have one there, we have one here, we have one under my desk in the other room. It's just a way to make sure everything stays well lit. That has been a huge, huge win for us. I'll try to link that in the description or something like that for that eBay seller. Bubble mailers we use for anything over, I think we're at $35 is what we've been doing. We recently changed that. We use the Brother QL label printer to print those labels. It's really annoying that TCGplayer, talk about TCGplayer again, but like you can't even print labels from TCGplayer. So on TCGplayer, you can export and then you can upload into Pirate Ship and then you can print those labels directly onto a label printer. One of the best investments I've ever had as a business. I think we have 2 or 3 of those label printers now. Just being able to print a label, you don't have to tape it, saves so much time. And again, you can buy those labels and stuff cheap on Amazon, not using the real labels that they tell you to use. Another thing that's been huge for us are these bins. So we use these bins to manage. I don't want to release anybody's, I don't know if there's names in here. We use these bins to put orders in. So as employees are filling orders, they use these bins to move things down the next process. So they'll put the cards in with the order and we won't fold them. We'll just stack all the orders like this. And then eventually everybody just gets together and folds all the orders straight out of these bins. It's just a way to keep things moving. These bins are from like a roller cart on Target. Those have been really, really helpful for us. And then, if we have issues, it goes into a pile that's like needs message. It's just a really good way to keep track of things. Other things that we use, these are not Kamigawa collector boxes. These are just top loaders. This is kind of how we stock all of our things, just easy to move things in and out. These are more of those, whatever they're called, the Seal Fresh things. Graded card bags, we use that for bigger orders. Some tape, some packing lists, some stamps, and some tape. So that's basically it. The only other thing I would say that a lot of people struggle with is how to ship like bigger amounts of cards or more expensive cards. For that, we just use 300 count boxes. We have a bunch of these in the store anyway. I think they cost like 50 cents or 75 cents or something like that. And by having these and using these, you're protecting the card really, really well. So any order over like $100 or $150 or something like that, we put in a box like this. That's just way better than just an envelope or a padded mailer. It just works better. Usually we put the cards in a padded mailer and then put them into this box, which helps really well to make sure cards don't get damaged. Shipping cards is not that hard. It's not like this video shouldn't be revolutionary. I'm sure you've received cards in the mail from people and it looks a lot like this. I think the biggest thing that we do that helps with the efficiencies is having a dedicated space. And listen, these are $50, $60 tables from Home Depot. This room, you know, we put in this room and all this stuff. We did this stuff ourselves. You can also do this. I had help from my buddy Cameron. Shout out to Cameron for just being awesome and doing this and helping us with it. You can do all this kind of stuff. Most of the stuff we order is from Amazon. You can do this too. I think the biggest thing for you and for me is figuring out what the best rhythm and cycle is for your own store, your own side hustle. For some of you, you don't have the time and energy to hire employees and be able to ship out 200 to 300 packages a day and envelopes a day and to stamp them all and to get them all out the door. So, you know, TCGplayer Direct is a win for you. For us, we don't want to do that. So it works better for us to do it this way. For you, organizing by set might work better, or not sleeving every card might work better. For us, we found that when we didn't sleeve every card, just thumbing through the cards, we're damaging them. And so we sleeve every card to prevent, you know, cards from being misconditioned and losing condition over time. That's just something that worked for us and the reason that we do that. So let me know what you think, what we're doing wrong, what you're doing better than us in the comment section below. Hopefully you have yourself a fantastic day. Be kind to the people around you. If you want to buy cards from us, go to KitchenTableTCG.com. Use that link instead of going to TCGplayer. Then we don't have to pay fees. And if you want to sell cards, reach out to me at KitchenTableTCG@gmail.com. Have yourself a great day. Be kind to the people around you.